lungs are a pair of spongy air-filled organs located on either side of the chest. It is protected by the ribs inside the thoracic cavity. The trachea conducts inhaled air into the lungs through its tubular branches called bronchi. The bronchi are further divided into smaller branches called the bronchioles. The bronchioles eventually end in clusters of microscopic air sacs called alveoli. In the alveoli, oxygen from the air is absorbed into the blood through a network of capillaries. The lungs are covered by a thin tissue layer called the pleura or pleural membrane. The pleura produces a small amount of fluid which serves as a lubricant to the lungs as they move back and forth against the chest wall during respiration. Between the left and right lungs sits the heart, more tilted towards the left lung. There are two types of intercostal muscles, the internal intercostal muscles and the external intercostal muscles. These muscles are responsible for moving the ribs. Finally, the dome-shaped muscle below the lungs and the heart is called the diaphragm.
Bravo! Now, let's get deeper into the gas exchange system, specifically about the mechanism of gas exchange. First, air is inhaled by the nose and passed down through the nasal cavity to the larynx. The larynx protects the trachea against food aspiration. During inhalation, the air may include dust, sand, pollen, fungal spores, bacteria, and viruses which are potential threats to the proper functioning of the lungs. So, particles larger than about 5 to 10 micrometers are caught on the nasal hairs in the nose, which pass out of the body through sneezing. The air then passes into the trachea. The trachea is 1.8 cm in diameter. If we look at a transverse section of trachea under a light microscope, we can actually observe regularly arranged C-shaped ring-like structures of cartilage along with other structures like smooth muscles, elastic fibers, and ciliated epithelial cells. If we enlarge the portion containing the ciliated epithelial cells even further, we can observe mucus-producing cells called the goblet cells.
Alright, a quick question. Since bronchi and bronchioles are also divided forms of the trachea, do they also consist of similar structures?
Not really. Even though they are the divided form of the trachea, there is a difference in their composition and size.
How so, teacher?
As you know, bronchus is formed from the branching of the trachea. Thus, it has a smaller diameter of just 1.2 cm. The bronchus also consists of cartilage, but they are arranged in irregular blocks. Also, they consist of ciliated epithelial cells, which are smaller than the ones in the trachea and also consist of less number of goblet cells.
But what is the role of cartilage in the trachea and bronchi?
Let me explain now. The cartilage is a type of connective tissue which keeps airways open and air resistance low in the trachea and the bronchi. This prevents them from collapsing or bursting as air pressure changes constantly during breathing. Since the cartilage is C-shaped in the trachea, the ends are connected by the smooth muscles. In the bronchi, the smooth muscles are present around the blocks of cartilage.
Ah, I see. What about bronchioles?
Bronchioles are a little different from the trachea and the bronchi.
How is that so?
They only consist of cilia and smooth muscles, and compared to the trachea and bronchi, bronchioles lack the cartilage and goblet cells.
Oh, so this is how we can differentiate between the bronchi and bronchioles.
Absolutely. Do you notice how the smooth muscles seem to be distributed circularly?
Yes. Don't the smooth muscles help in contraction and relaxation?
Certainly. These smooth muscles can contract or relax to adjust the diameter of these tiny airways, especially during heavy work.
Like during exercise?
Exactly. The muscles relax to allow a greater flow of air to the alveoli. Also, the absence of cartilage in bronchioles makes these adjustments possible.
Oh, and what about the alveoli?
The alveoli have extremely thin walls. Each alveolus has a diameter of 250 micrometers and consists of just a single layer of squamous epithelial cells.
So the alveoli don't have cartilage, cilia, smooth muscles and goblet cells, right?
Absolutely. The alveolar walls instead contain elastic fibers which stretch during inspiration and recoil during expiration to help force out air.
So I guess this elasticity allows alveoli to expand according to the volume of air breathed in.
Exactly. When the alveoli are fully expanded during exercise, the surface area available for diffusion increases and the air is expelled efficiently when the elastic fibers recoil.
Also, for the gas to diffuse, the walls of the alveoli must be very thin because they are the major site for gas exchange. But I wonder how much gas they exchange as they are so small in size.
Well, although each individual alveolus is tiny, the alveoli collectively have a huge surface area, probably totaling around 70 square meters in an adult.
Want to learn more? We have additional learning resources to offer for Cambridge IGCSE and AS A-level subjects. Register now for free.